Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything and welcome back to the channel and a match review as we look at how FC Barcelona made heavy work of beating 18th place Elche at the Estadio Manuel Martinez Valero to record their fourth consecutive league victory of 2021 and their fourth consecutive away win in La Liga. In what was a pleasant early evening or late afternoon kickoff, La Blaugrana emerged 2-0 victors in what was an uninspiring performance owing largely to Ronald Koeman's questionable setup and reluctance to use his substitutes. The win now sees Barcelona reclaim their position in third place, 3 points off Real Madrid who sit in second and 1 point ahead of fourth placed Sevilla. So the top four in La Liga very much looking like what we were expecting. So, in this video, I'll quickly look at how the teams lined up and we'll talk about Barcelona's performance on the night and we'll discuss negatives and positives from the game as well as pick the man of the match. Quick reminder to hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video so you can stay up to date with all the coverage of all things Barcelona on this channel. So, let's go ahead and look at how the two teams set up. Elche set up with a 4-1-4-1 formation with the following players: Badia in goal, Verdu, Gonzalez, Barragan and Mojica in defense, Marcone, Guti, Rodriguez, Rigone and Hosan in midfield with Lucas Boy as the lone man up front. Barcelona on the other hand set up in a 4-3-3 with Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goals, Umtiti, Mingueza, Alba and Araujo in defense, Busquets, De Jong and Pedri in midfield and Dembele, Braithwaite and Griezmann as the forwards. Let's now briefly look at how Barcelona performed in this game. The match started off, I felt, in largely the same way that the previous game against Cornellà finished. Many of these Barcelona players had been involved in 3 consecutive matches that went to extra time, and it showed in the final third as except for the electric Dembele, no one looked energetic or full of running. Well, actually not just apart from Dembele, there was also one other player who was ever full of running, and it was he that opened the scoring after some elite playmaking by Lord Martin Nazario Braithwaite. I'm talking about none other than Frenkie de Jong. The Dutchman continued his impressive start to the year with yet another goal as he pounced on Rigoni's attempted clearance of an inch-perfect Braithwaite pass into Antoine Griezmann. The rest of the half went by in an as-you-were fashion as really nothing of note happened. 1-0, the score at halftime. Now, at the start of the second half, Koeman swung into action and made a bunch of changes at halftime to freshen up the squad and to bring some fresh ideas into the game so that Barca could capitalize on their 1-goal lead by playing some swashbuckling football. This is what I would have loved to say. It was the same old same from Barcelona, lethargic in progressing the ball, timid in the pass, always looking for this safe option. I lost count of the number of times that Griezmann and Dembele made a run behind the Elche defense, only for the ball over the top to not be played to them, instead a pass to ter Stegen being preferred. Bit by bit, it started feeling more and more like a typical Koeman Barca away game as Elche began to grow in confidence, so much so that when Mingueza and Araujo had a mix-up, one that I must add came from Barca trying to play around at the back instead of progressing the ball forward. Anyway, Rigoni was granted the customary away game big chance coming from a defensive error, but unfortunately for him, the best goalkeeper in the game, yes, my boy Marc-Andre ter Stegen, wasn't in a giving mood and he thwarted the Elche forward one-on-one. Barca carried on playing tired football until sometime about the 79th minute when they made their first substitute. That substitute was Trincao. He came on for Dembele and he really carried the torch of injecting life into the Barcelona attack from the man he replaced. He forced no fewer than 3 world-class saves from Badia, a La Masia graduate by the way. Barca though finally found their second goal of the game as goal scorer turned to provider, with De Jong making a wonderful driving run through the heart of a tired Elche defense to play an inch-perfect cross that was headed in by the second substitute of the game, Riqui. Testament to the little Catalan's never say die attitude that even after being brought on in the 86th minute, he was still giving it his all, screaming for every ball, and he rightly got his reward with a much deserved goal. And just look how delighted Koeman was for Riqui, eh? Beaming with joy. Full-time score 2-0. Well then, let us now get into my negatives and positives from this match. We will set it off, as usual, with the negatives. Now, There's really only one negative of note here that I feel was at the root of every slow and unimaginative pass that was played by any tired Barcelona player. That negative goes by the name of Ronald Koeman. His setup was all wrong for breaking down a low block once again, like it was against Cornea, like it was against Cadiz. Fill in the blanks, really. It's always been wrong with him. I do not understand why Griezmann was playing central and Braithwaite was out wide when we have already seen this season that Griezmann has been playing best coming inside off the left and Braithwaite has delivered good performances. In fact, Braithwaite has delivered his best performances when playing as the number 9. To further confound the issue, Koeman stubbornly refused to make changes despite his players showing clear signs of fatigue. It is especially worrying when you consider that February is coming up and it's going to be chock full of league fixtures, cup fixtures, and Champions League fixtures too. At this rate, I fear Koeman will play the same players game in, game out until they are burnt out. Players like Conrad and Firpo should have at least been used to give some rest to our more regular starters. Anyway, it's giving me a headache talking about this, so I am going to move on to my positives. First and foremost, brilliant showings from the subs. When Trincao came on, I questioned why he was coming on for Dembele and not Griezmann, and I expected him to have a limited impact on the game. Same for Riqui when he came on in the 86th minute. Like, what was he supposed to do in 3 minutes? Well, Trincao went on to be Barca's most dangerous player in the 14 or so minutes he played and is terribly unlucky to have not scored at least 2 goals. Again, hats off to Badia. Riqui went one better and actually scored to kill the game off. Hopefully some genius Dutch coach can give these guys more minutes. My second positive was a much needed clean sheet for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. If there has been any one player, like I said last time, who deserves more than he has got so far this season, it's our goalkeeper, and it was great to see him pulling off stunning saves to keep a clean sheet with yet another makeshift centre-back pairing in front of him, I should add. With all of that out of the way, let's now talk about the man of the match. Today's man of the match, I feel, was none other than Frenkie de Jong. I had singled out Griezmann and Dembele prior to the game as players to watch, and I didn't really expect de Jong would have such a big game, mainly because of how crowded I expected the midfield to be, but the Dutchman put in a top-class performance and crowned it off with a goal and assist. Wonderful display for the Blaugrana Everything man of the match. Well, that does it for my match review, ladies and gentlemen. What were your thoughts on the match? Who was your man of the match? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day and Forza Barca.